Okay, good morning,
All
everybody.
set. Good
Yeah, can
morning.
you see my screen, Connor?
I can see everything indeed. Yep.
You can see
Yeah,
the Infuse Analytics everywhere.
Yeah.
yeah, we can
That's
see it.
us.
Yeah,
Yep. Yep.
great. Thank you.
Okay.
Yeah. We're
Right,
live.
good morning, everybody. Welcome to our webinar on embedding analytics. My name is Kieran Carrick. I'm the Operations Director with IMGS. Hey, Connor, how are you this morning?
I'm good. I'm good. Yeah. I'm just briefly introduce myself. So I'm the business development executive here at IMGS and Data Builders. So yeah. Thanks for having me. It's good to be here. I'm excited for it.
All right. Well, I think I see a few people are just joining now. So we're just going to kick off now, keep the time. So
Yeah.
Connor, I'll give you the first slide. You can introduce things and data
Yeah.
builders and ourselves.
Yeah. Absolutely. So as Kieran said, thanks for joining us. I'm sure people are still coming in, but no, thanks for joining us. You're all very welcome to our first webinar of 2023. Still sounds a little bit weird saying that. It's funny, even over the weekend, um, just talking about plans, 2024 even came up. So everything's moving very swiftly indeed. But no, look, we're very excited about this one. It's our first webinar of 2023. I'm sure you're all very excited to see what Kieran has in store for us later with Sisense. Beforehand, I just wanted to briefly, obviously, introduce ourselves. Kieran being the operations director, and myself, I'm the business development executive. So I'm going to be your first port of call should you have any questions or queries about how you might be able to build better insights. But I should explain us as well, data builders. So who are we? We provide a suite of data intelligence software solutions to help you and your organization build better data insights. Um, they cover the whole spectrum of data management intelligence from capture through ELT and ETL with tools like FME and Talent. Um, we provide leading cloud storage, being partners with Snowflake, and of course our BI visualization tool, which today is centered around, which is Sisense. Um, so yeah, data intelligence is very much at the core of what we do. As you can see there, providing solutions to automate data flows, visualize information, and build data insights for a wide variety of customers, including local authorities, government agencies, or read them all. You can read them there, but there is a few missing. I mean, even e-learning providers, cybersecurity, charity organizations. Um, there really isn't much that we, and when I say we, mostly Kieran, given his length of service in data projects, hasn't seen, and not much that we can't handle and we can't help you with. So it's just important to note who we are and before we get into it. So look, I'm sure you're all very excited. I will hand it over to Kieran now to get right into the webinar.
Right. Thanks, Connor. Good morning, everybody. So the first thing I want to talk about is the evolution of analytics. So the first generation of analytics was very much on premise and it had static data being sent to people. So conventional reports, which left gaps between insight and action because you were getting the report maybe a week or 2 weeks after when you actually need a decision to be made. So then people moved on to getting desktop dashboards and being able to find data in dashboards. But again, the amount of time users spent using predefined dashboards will decline according to the Gartner because people are looking for more self-service, more ability to ad hoc do queries and dive into data. So the next generation is now of analytics is the move towards cloud applications so that you can the data can be delivered to where you are and where you need it. And what McKinsey are talking about now is the ability to essentially integrate insights into your daily workflow. So not to have a dashboard on a desktop tool that you may or may not access. It's to have the analytic at the application, at the interface that you're working on so that it's seamless, so that it's part of your day to day, so that you get insights in a timely manner where you need them, when you need them. And that's what we're talking about. And that's the next generation of analytics. And this is where Sisense really are pushing the bounds in the market. So the problem that we've seen is analytics today is out of context and out of touch. So we are seeing people still with printed reports. We're seeing standalone dashboards. And even in Sisense, like we have the ability to email out PDFs, CFCs, reports. But that really is dated in how things should be done. For us as humans, as people, we want context. We want our applications and everything to be integrated. We want everything to be personalized, like Netflix. It knows who you are, what you're doing, what you like, and to be able to get it where you are, whether that's through your phone, on your laptop, on whatever device that you're using. So being able to ensure analytics adoption, you need to be able to drive it the Sisense way, which is to automate intelligence in context based on what people are doing in their apps, provide a personalized data story in business apps and workflows for data-driven outcomes, and deeply embed analytics in apps where people already spend time. That's the big part. That's what we want to show you. It's having the analytics not as standalone applications, not that you have to leave a system to go to another system, to go to another computer to get your dashboard, that wherever you're working, wherever you're using, that you can get the data and get the insights and get the answers where you need them. So that's where Sisense Fusion comes in. It allows us to build integrated analytical applications that bring the data, bring the insights to where you need them to be. So with Sisense Fusion, you can connect to any data anywhere, whether it's spreadsheets and files, web applications, high performance databases, or relational databases like SQL Server, Oracle, and MySQL. That data can be joined into the dashboard either by using the Elastic Cache, which is the proprietary data warehouse that's provided as part of Sisense, or by using live query into these cloud data warehouses or um, data stores and into relational databases to then inside Sisense enable you to build customized data experiences. All of this driven through AI so that they enhance the analytics to make better decisions. Sisense also provide two options for creating analytics. Code-free analytics, where you can create dashboards without having to know how to code. Or if you're a Python or R guy or SQL who likes to write code and likes to create some really advanced analytic with the notebook integration in Sisense, you can actually create charts and dashboards that way. And from there, then we can infuse analytics everywhere. So we can cloud apps, integrate with communication platforms like Slack and Teams, into business applications like Excel and Salesforce, and then create workflows that action the analytic. So it's not just seeing a pretty picture and then saying, oh, that's nice. It's being able to take an action, execute an action, and follow up on it. So with Sisense, we can connect from data from anywhere. So we have a flexible data engine that integrates live data and Elastic Cache in one engine. We have the ability to do self-service data modeling. So as part of your Elastic Cube or your live warehouse, you can remodel the data so that it suits the analyst, so that they're then getting the data either aggregated or structured in a friendly way to make their analysis a lot easier. And as I mentioned already, we have the ability to create code-driven transformation so we can do data preparation as the data is coming in. So again, really a one-stop shop for when it is about creating your analytic and your dashboard. With Sisense, we can unlock powerful insights. So we've got data exploration and insights for every skill set. So being able to do automated data preparation, having the software to do recommendations to analyze using machine learning and AI to do recommendations from your data of how you can drill in and see more of it. Being able to use natural language query. So for people who want to be able to enter in, give me the total revenue, give me the number of leads, give me the number of cases, that they can write this in free text and get an answer and get a chart. And then advanced analytics, which have built in AI for profiling and prospecting and doing forecast analysis. So again, all under one hood. As I mentioned, we have actionable insights where you work. So you can incorporate data insights into end user applications to guide your decision making. So it's available currently today, add-ons in Slack, Google Slides, Google Sheets, Microsoft Teams, Excel, and Salesforce. And you can even build your own custom integrations. And if you're interested in seeing more on this, last month or the December's webinar, we went through this and showed how you can build these kind of workflows, and that's on our website on the databuilders.ie webinars page. So you can see back what we showed last month. But again, what we're talking about today is being able to build customized experience. So you can do code-free analytics. So we've got easy to use drag and drop analytics with interactive experiences, or you can have the code-driven analytics. So again, explore data with rapid ad hoc analysis using SQL or in Python. And the big power of Sisense is the fact that it's extensible via APIs. So it's a limitless API first platform that extends the capabilities. So there's over 450 APIs inside Sisense that allow you to connect to the model, customize, white label. So again, you can completely rebrand the product so it doesn't look like Sisense. It doesn't have Sisense's name on it. So it can have your company name, and then you can embed it into other workflows. So you can use a low-code approach by embedding using an iframe. So just literally just put the dashboard, call it through a link into the dashboard and put it into some other application. Or you can do it fully customizable using the embed SDK that comes with Sisense and the Sisense JS library. So you can build your own GUI, your own app, and everything like that. And then you can also build your internal apps or integrate with internal apps, as I mentioned, Salesforce, Slack, and pretty much anything you can think of. And then all the provisioning, the single sign-on, again, all that's driven through API as well. So you may not want your user to have to log into the Sisense twice. So even though your app, the Sisense is embedded inside your application, user logs on once through the single sign-on, they get all the rights. They see the data they're supposed to see. They don't see data they're not supposed to see, and all that's controlled. And then we can augment that with the AI and ML tools in the application so that you can do actions and write back and use the Sisense blocks as well to build applications out of the system. Sisense provides enterprise-grade analytics, so you got end-to-end governance. So a big thing if you're building applications is to ensure, as I mentioned, through that single sign-on, that users are only able to get access to the data that they want. So it provides multi-level security and governance and performance and monitoring. It can cloud scale. So modern microservices architectures for SaaS or delivery, resilience, and scalability. So it's all built now on Linux, runs through Kubernetes. So really very easy to scale up to whatever your requirements are. Has flexible deployment options. So again, can deploy on cloud, on premise, or a hybrid model. And it pretty much is a platform agnostic. It's available on Linux and Windows and certified on Amazon, Azure, and Google Cloud. So cloud platforms. One health warning on the Windows version is some of the newer functionality isn't available on Windows. So if you are running Windows, just be careful about that one. There are some features that don't run on Windows and are only on Linux. Okay, so without further ado, I'm going to show you a nice embedded integrated application that Sisense has put together, built using React. So the React framework, showing you how easy it is to integrate Sisense seamlessly into your business applications so that you actually don't know the difference between where your Sisense ends and where your business application works, so that the user then has a seamless business experience. They're not jumping from system to system. They're in one application, and that's how they run. And in this application, you can see how all the functionality of Sisense is exposed and able to use. So let me just jump into my application now. So I'm just going to run this application. So the first thing I want to do is, because the page is, I'm going to log out and I'm going to sign in just so you can see. So the application, this is not a Sisense system. Sisense is integrated into the application. So Sisense themselves have built a dummy CRM using the React framework, and I've integrated to show you how easy it is to integrate Sisense inside this application completely seamlessly, and you wouldn't even know you're using Sisense. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to come in and I'm going to pick a user. So I'm going to pick Rihanna, and I'm going to log in. So Rihanna is the Chief Revenue Officer in the company. So she's looking at the CRM, and she wants to be able to drill into her system. So the first thing you see on this front page is this is a standard web page. It's the React main page. But you will see, as on the page, there are some dashboards. So we have a few widgets here, and we have a revenue forecast sheet here as well, which is showing the numbers coming out. This is not a full Sisense dashboard. In this area, they've embedded just this widget and these indicator widgets onto the web page through the React framework. So this is a React page. If I go to accounts, you can see now, again, nothing to do with Sisense. I am now in another part of the web page, and we can see all Rihanna's staff. And we can see that they've built in other functionality into the page for clicking on links and everything. By the way, Sisense aren't selling a CRM. This is purely a dummy system that they want to show you how easy it is to actually work with the application. So if I go back to my homepage, if I click on, say, the total sales, it then actions and brings up now an embedded Sisense web page inside the app. So I've now jumped from the indicator widget to the web page, and now I can see my nice little. I'm starting seeing things that you might be more aware of when it comes to Sisense. First thing you can see up on top is they've put a couple of buttons which says Show Toolbar. If I turn that off, you'll see the Sisense toolbar is gone. If I say Show Dashboard menu, it shows me my other dashboards. So this is showing you how easy it is to embed a Sisense web page into another page. You can decide if you want the ability to switch other dashboards on, which you probably won't because you're embedding it to make it look seamless. And even if you want to see filters, so you can see the filters are here. So again, those buttons don't have to be there. It's just there from a demonstration point of view to show us how easy it is to embed a full dashboard. So this is an iframe full dashboard being embedded inside another web page, and how you can decide how you want that page to work. The great thing is as well is that you can then look at the dashboard, and if I click on any function, so maybe if I look at the commercial discussion, I've now filtered that. So even though it's a web page, it's an embedded web page, I'm able to click on the filter. It's now filtered the rest of the dashboards out, and so I can see the data as per that one. The number of opportunities have reduced. And again, if I then go to filters, show my filters, you'll see now I have commercial discussion is on there, and if I turn that off, it's gone. So anything I click on my widget, I can drill into the data. You can also see we've got our explanation here. So this text here, so this is where the AI engine and Sisense kicks in. So I've got my this sales by country, and it's saying, okay, the total revenue is 226 million, and it's across these countries. Now, if I go over here and I pick closed one in an area, I'll now see that I've filtered that. My explanation by sales by country, because I'm now drilled into January 23, has now dropped to 7.6 million. That text wasn't hard coded, wrote in. That's the AI engine creating the explanation of what the narrative, of what I am seeing on the dashboard. So again, for a chief exec or whatever, he's given the text. He doesn't actually care about the chart. He wants to know who's the top customers, who are they, where are they getting their data from, and I can reset my widget. Don't have to bring up the filters button. I just click on the button itself. So you can see these different widgets are here. And again, if I go back to my home, again, if I went to the win rate and click on win rate, another dashboard will pop up. So this is the win rate dashboard. It's kind of similar one. Let me go back again, and I'll go to the pipeline. So we'll now see in the pipeline, up pops a dashboard with the pipeline, similar text, similar information coming up. And you can see everything is in the application. Now, if I go to sales revenue over time, I can use other AI capabilities in here. So I can go to analyze it, and I can do a forecast and actual versus forecast or forecast information. So you can run what kind of forecasts you're able to run inside the application. But I can see here, I can see the forecast data that they're forecasting my sales are going to drop. So the AI tools that we're exposing in Sisense, just because it's an embedded website, that full functionality is still there. So being able to expose the forecasting, being able to drill into the information. Similarly, on any of these widgets, I can use the forecasting on it to actually look at the information better. So again, if I go to the accumulated revenue, I can run the trend, and I can go closed AC revenue, and I can put that in. So I can see accumulated revenue over time. So just because the dashboard is embedded, just because it's integrated seamlessly into my application, I can expose all the functionality that's in Sisense. So AI tools, explanations. I can also, if I'm looking at a certain user, I can look at information about them. I can create on any widget. I can take that information down, download it as a CSV, download it as an image file. I can also, on an accumulator, I can add a value to Pulse. So what's Pulse in Sisense? Well, Pulse in Sisense is the ability to actually set an alert using the ML tools in Sisense to prompt you if there is an issue. So if my sales drop, go up too high, if my number of cases on my help desk, if I bugs, whatever it is, whatever you're tracking, whatever you're analyzing, it's fully available to add to your Pulse alert. So I can actually say, okay, if it goes over, say, 700,000, add that to my alert and make it a threshold, add it, and that pulse is now in my pulse alerts. If we look down here, we can see the different pulse alerts that have been added to the system. So you can see the total sales is now there, 71 million. If that pops out, I'll get an alert, whether it's an email, a message to Slack, whatever way I set my alerting up, it'll then prompt me as well. Again, full functionality coming through from the system, from the dashboard out to the application. Again, completely seamlessly. So if I go to my reports page, I can see here, even with this application, we can use the report manager inside Sisense. So this is new functionality that was released in Sisense last year, where you can actually set up report manager to actually generate reports, send PDFs, HTMLs, whatever it is, out to users, and it'll generate them for you and come up. So you can actually pick a dashboard and send it out and send out the report from it. You can also see then we have our dashboards here that if we need to go straight to them, we can jump to it and we can see them and see what's there. And these dashboards, you can see it's an infused apps dashboard. So that means it can be added to your Sisense Fusion apps so that then users can use the NLQ, they can use Teams or Slack to get to this data. So again, a great way to get information into other systems, not just having to go to the integrated system, but you might have a CEO who just wants to be able to go into Teams and be in Teams and do something like I've always got this one here that's handy to show, being able to jump in and bring up the Sisense bot. And where's it gone? There it is. And in the Sisense bot, you can then inside your Teams, you can at any stage request data and see it inside your application. So if I go views, it tells me what data I've published. And if I go CK purchases, up comes the data and we're able to see it. So that same data that's exposed through the view, through the embedded application can also be integrated in here. We can also do it inside Excel as well. So inside our Excel app, we have the ability, if I have a blank workspace here, I can click on my Sisense Analytics button. It can then go off and get me data. Same data is published can be brought back in, it's embedded, bring the data to where you need it. So it can bring it into the system and then we can see it. So if I look at that same data, so CK purchases and add it to the worksheet, it brings the data down into my spreadsheet. So, and you can also use your NLQ here, ask me, write any kind of question, you can do it. And if I go back to my Fusion dashboard, I go back to my insights. We also have our simply ask here. So we have our ability to write a question. So if I want to go, you can write any question you want. I'll do this one here. How much revenue did I get this week? And the NLQ then shows it. And you can change the type of chart that you want to do from that query. So really self-service. You know, you write the text, you then get the answer you want to get. So again, how much revenue closed on whatever date, it tells me the information. So easy to use this natural language query so that somebody is just coming in and going, look, I know you've created me a dashboard, but I just want to ask a question and get an answer. So, and that NLQ tool can also be exposed into an application. So you could have in this CRM, you could easily, and you can add these to favorites, download the data, all that kind of good stuff. But easily in the CRM here, we could just have exposed the Simply Ask tool and had the ability for someone just to ask the question and get an answer. So you don't have to give a big full page. You don't have to give a full dashboard. It's all there to be exposed and interfaced with, so that the dashboard is there, really nice to see, to look at the information and then take action. So again, we can see on the products here, anything that they have in the system can be done. So people are after the system is completely integrated, that the user doesn't feel like they're in an analytics product. They're in the product they're using, they stay in it, they get the insight where they need it, when they need it, and it works really well. Okay, so that's just to show that new functionality. I think that demo site is really good, because for us, for years, we know how strong Sisense is from an integration point of view, but we always show the off-the-shelf application. With the embedded app, we can now show you how easy it is to integrate and show you a proven thing. And it's using a modern development framework like React, so really useful to integrate with. So just to repeat, the Sisense difference, it's an AI-driven platform. It's highly extensible, as you've seen this morning, and approachable analytics, so you can see the self-service capabilities we've seen, can run on any cloud, and has been um, marked as one of the top embedded, the best embedded BI application by a number of global companies like Gartner and Forrester, who have all said Sisense are the market leader here for innovation and for development. Um, an example of where this has been done really successfully is NASDAQ. We're all aware of NASDAQ as the IT stock exchange. And the business challenge that they seen was during the before we had all the dot-com recessions in the last while. We had 140% growth rate and over 250,000 users, with only manual reporting for insight decision making. 250,000 people using the system for decisions and insights. So NASDAQ white labeled Sisense into their application. So they had a stock market application, and that meant that they could then have executive insight into stock ownership for deeper relations and increase customer stickiness and exceed experiences. And the customers do not know they're using Sisense. They see NASDAQ, they see the NASDAQ branding. It's completely integrated, it's completely seamless. So with Sisense, you're able to go value beyond just analytics. So you get the data your way. So access to the analytics, no matter the complexity, allows you to differentiate your product, make analytics your competitive advantage, and enables you to speed to action. So improve engagement and efficiency with insight that leads to action. We'll come on to any questions if there are any, but maybe there isn't. But the upcoming webinars. So today we have our Sisense Fusion webinar. So that allows you to how you could embed Sisense Analytics. Next month on the 22nd, or nearly this month, on the 22nd, you'll see how we can use our FME integration tool for creating data pipelines for rapidly onboarding data into your cloud data warehouses. Then in March, we'll also be covering how FME can improve data quality, so how you can fix data quality issues with it. And then we'll be back looking at Sisense again in April to look at the latest releases from last year, along with the Q1 releases that Sisense have released, including the Git integration, I should mention that this morning. So again, for those who are in development, all the dashboards have got full Git integration now, so you can send your dashboards and version history them all inside GitHub. And then we'll be finishing off before the summer with a webinar on big data integration with FMEs. Again, getting your data from various on-premise and cloud and other sources into a single cloud data warehouse using FME. And that'll be myself and Connor coming back for those last two. All right. And that's a whirlwind tour of the embedded capabilities of Sisense. If there's, I'm not sure if any questions come in yet, Tanya. I know there's a few people on the call, but if there's any questions, please fire them up into the chat. I think it's on the little tab in there, and we can take them. We have a couple minutes, and if we don't get any with them, we'll let you guys get back to your day.
Indeed. I just
Nope.
wanted to.
Sorry, go
I
ahead.
just wanted to add quickly, Karen, if you go back, I think it's important that Sisense really gets that it's the insights that matter. Um, that's what you're looking for, and they're constantly bringing them closer to you in your own apps, and just where you're working. So I just think it's important to note that that's really what they're striving for and what people want, more than anything. Like obviously dashboards are great, but it's at the end of the day, it's the insights that matter. And like you said, you could look at dashboards all day, but you might just want to know the one thing, and they're making that as easy and as seamless as possible.
Oh, definitely. Yeah, no, I think it is. That's exactly it. Yeah.
No questions as of yet, anyway.
All
I
right.
think
Well, we
it
won't.
was a very informative presentation, so I think it's
All right. Well,
probably
we won't.
preempted.
Yeah, we won't hold anybody else up if there's no if people have any questions. But I think Connor, you'll touch base with the guys on the call anyway. So
Yeah,
if they've any if they would like to see it or like to see more or talk about anything that we covered this morning or anything more about Sisense, I'd say we'll be in touch and we'll be happy to even have a one-on-one session or go through anything in depth.
oh, absolutely. Yeah. I will be in touch, and yeah, we'll be following up. No problem.
All right. That's great. Okay, well, listen, guys, we'll let everybody get back to their day, and thank you for coming this morning. It's been a good turnout again, so we're happy to see everybody coming. These monthly webinars now are getting very popular, which is great. And yeah, we will look forward to seeing you next month when we start looking at data pipelines and doing ELT, being able to load data, extract and load data into your cloud data warehouse very quickly with low code solutions again. So we really want to show you that kind of stuff. So hopefully you'll see you again next month. I think Connor, you're giving that one a miss. It's going to be myself and Gavin this time. So we'll cover that one. But you'll
The
be back
great
later in the
Gavin
year.
Park. Yeah.
Yeah. All right.
Good stuff.
That's great. Thanks everybody. Have a nice
Thanks,
day.
guys.
Thanks, Tanya. Bye. Thanks,
Bye.
Connor. Bye.